Welcome everybody to We Geek Podcast. Today is May 11th, and my name is Adam. I'm joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up? And we're about 58 episodes in, and I must apologize ahead of time. I'm a little bit under the weather, but there's just too much news to miss today. So gonna let Logan take a little bit more of the reins of the show for today, but there's still so much to be excited about, so much to talk about. We got tons of superhero news, pretty much. I think at this point we've both seen Civil War, so we're gonna briefly discuss it. I think we're gonna do like a huge spoiler cast, probably have it up this weekend or sometime, but we'll give you more information about that towards the end of the show. I've been playing some Uncharted. We got The Flash, directed by Kevin Smith, we're going to talk about. What else am I missing here, man?
We've got casting news and not casting news, and I mean we're packed this week. I didn't realize it until I started looking at everything. I thought, like, wow, there was a lot this week.
Oh, there definitely was. We got some Battlefield information and some good old rivalry between some companies. It's a packed show, man. So how's your week been?
It's been good. You know, we've had some work shakeups and whatnot, and it's been an interesting week.
Yeah,
I'll put it
I
that
hear
way.
that.
It's one of those what's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
those are always fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been, as you can tell, I've just been sick. I was able to do like Mother's Day. We went out to the beach, ate on a pier. It was great. And for whatever reason, right after that, I just kind of just got like a head cold, and I've been sleeping, been on medication, been playing a lot of Overwatch. Did you get a chance to play any?
I played some of it, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to talk about that later because I am in love. Yeah. Actually, I gotta play with some of the guys from the Talking Games podcast, and
Nice.
yeah, Broken Thumbsticks, and so it was fun. I'll talk all about that a little bit later in the show, but it was really fun. Played Overwatch with them for like 3 days straight, and it was a blast. I got to play all the little characters. It's pretty much what I've been playing on PlayStation for like the last week until Uncharted drop, and my jaw dropped at how fucking amazing it is. Yeah, and I'm 6 chapters in, and it was so late last night, and I'm so sick, and I was just like, I really should be in bed right now. My body is like, what are you doing up? You need rest, but oh, I needed me some Nathan Drake and Sully and his brother. But yeah, so anyway, we'll get into the show. What do we got here? I want you to kind of take reins here because I'm just, whew.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
We started with because of course our last show we cut it on May 3rd, so we missed out on all the Star Wars news last week.
Right.
But we did finally get casting for young Han Solo for his standalone film. It's going to be Aiden Ehrenreich, who was the singing cowboy in Hail Caesar.
Nice. Yeah, I still haven't seen that movie. I got to.
Oh, you should. You've got some time now.
Yep. Yeah. He looks like the part.
He'll do really well. He had a good charisma about him.
Right.
Which
did you?
is paramount with Han Solo.
Yes, absolutely. Did you see the Sebastian Stahl? What's his last name?
I always say Stan.
Stan. Okay, I'm not looking at how it's spelled or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to do it from memory. Did you see like the Photoshop of him? Like they took his face and put Luke Skywalker's hair on it.
Yeah, it's uncanny. Like it's frightening. It really is.
It really is. If they need to do a young Luke Skywalker movie with him, or he could even be like Luke right after Return of the Jedi.
Right?
Yeah, like I would kill for that. Or like he could do it like when he builds his lightsaber and do a what do you call it? Shadows of the Empire, but just have Luke Skywalker in it and not really like Han Solo and Leia.
Right.
That would be so cool. He would be perfect, and oh man, yeah, I absolutely want that. What other? We got some more Star Wars news, right?
Yeah, there's apparently for episode 8, Tom Hardy is rumored to have a secret cameo. They're talking like it was kind of like Daniel Craig's, where he's gonna be a stormtrooper who's there. He's in a scene and there's something quasi important that happens,
Well, did you see what it was?
I did see what it was. I didn't want to say
Right.
just in case, but like it's in that same kind of vein of like, hey, this is a plot point
Yes.
ish. Like it's not unimportant. It's not like, hey, there he goes walking down the hallway, but
Right.
it's it's
It's very important, yeah, and
yeah,
it's spoilery, so we won't get too into it. I'm excited. I'll just say that.
yeah.
And it makes sense. It's perfect.
Well,
But yeah,
it does, and it doesn't. Like
no.
my first thought when I read that was, well, that speaks to some communication errors, really.
Well, when we get into the spoilery part of the show down towards the very end,
Yeah.
I will mention. Oh, and I'll make sure it's like one of the last things. I will mention this is the reveal, and I'll tell you why I think that works. I guess, and we'll talk about it there
Yeah.
because I definitely want to have that conversation.
Totally.
Um, but yeah, I can't wait, dude. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. Real fast, another thing I haven't mentioned on the show is I have the expansion for the Battlefront, and the one that's out right now is with Greedo and what new I can't pronounce it right now.
Nine
Neen
num.
Ninem, yeah. Um, the guy who took out the, the Death Star with Lando. Sorry, I'm on medication right now, but him and Greedo are
The
uh,
heroes.
the heroes in it, and one of the levels which is really cool is you're in Jabba's palace,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's entirely Jabba's palace. You come in the front like where Luke did. You go all the way down that big hallway thing. Then you go down the little stairs. You're in Jabba's palace. He's not sitting there, of course. The Rancor is down, and you can jump down there, and the Rancor is dead, rotting on the ground. And you can go out back, and it has like one of his big boat things, and it's so cool. It is the coolest map in that game. It sucks they put it behind a paywall, but
Yeah.
it is really nostalgia the entire time. The way the shadows work on the wall, you're like, oh shit, I am in Jabba's palace shooting at people as Greedo or whatever. It's really cool. But it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait for the rest and to find out what the last one is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we have this new. I don't know what Universal is doing with their monster movie universe. Did you see? Not only is Russell Crowe joining the cast of The Mummy, did you see who he's gonna play?
Yeah. I see this. Yeah, right. Dr. Jekyll, right?
It's okay. I mean, I just like, are we gonna do like the Avengers in reverse?
Yeah. I mean, I think they really should put them all. Well, yeah, I guess. So yeah, so the movie's gonna be called The Mummy,
Right.
and it's gonna also have. Yeah, that's really weird.
Like, are we gonna have? I mean, look, as long as they're good, I don't care. But I'm just like, I'm just genuinely curious. What's the thought process here? Like,
And
how are we going about this?
and the way and actually you could totally do a movie with all of the characters in it at one time because you don't have to explain to anyone any of these characters because they are just so old and iconic. They're older than superheroes at this point,
Right.
right? Like so you don't have to explain any of that. You can have a mummy, a Dr. Jekyll, you could have werewolf, I don't know, Frankenstein. Like, I wouldn't call it the mummy though. You know, I don't know what Universal Monsters maybe you would call it, but
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's just them two, and it's like maybe he's not that big of a role, but um, I don't know, maybe he's a part of a team that uncovers the mummy.
Oh, great! It's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen sequel that nobody wanted.
I loved that movie. What do you mean? I'm still waiting for that sequel. I thought that was such a cool idea
It
to have
was
all those.
it was
Yeah.
a cool idea, but it was an awful film.
No, I loved it.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's okay. No, I liked it. It
That's all right. To each their own.
Yeah. I thought at the time I was like, this is really cool. Like all these characters, like they're doing things with them that I didn't think they would ever do. And at the time I didn't read that comic or anything, so I think I knew that it was a comic, but I didn't really care. And I
Yeah.
was just like, this is awesome. Like if you would have been like, we're gonna go see a Nemo movie, I would have been like, okay, nope, not interested. But if you're like, no, but we're gonna get all these characters together like the X-Men, and they're gonna have like powers and stuff, and I was like, that is awesome. Here's all these characters that I probably wouldn't care about, and you made me care about them.
There you go. Huh.
Um,
Whatever works. Whatever works. We got a little Marvel news, and I'll start with the less detailed news. Sharon Stone was on, I forget, one of the late night shows, and said that she has a small role. She has a wee part, as she said, in an upcoming Marvel film. That was the extent of the statement.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's thank you. I mean, that's news, but it's like, you couldn't possibly be any more vague.
Yeah, that really is odd. Who do you think she's gonna be?
I don't know. If I couldn't tell you.
Probably Hank Pym's wife. If I
Yeah,
were to guess.
an older, like, we found her kind of version.
Probably.
Uh,
I'm
could
thinking.
could be. Could be.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, Marvel. I don't know who she would play.
Yeah. I really hadn't. That's a good thought.
I'm trying to think of a female. Well, I mean, we've already seen her, I guess.
Well, but I mean, I don't know. Like, they.
Well, she said we part, right?
Yeah. Huh.
So we small?
I wonder if that was actually intended that way. I didn't think about that. I thought it was just like she has a bit part somewhere, like she has a cameo or something.
I don't know. I think she was giving us a hint.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Uh,
I can't wait for Ant-Man. He's so good.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh man, go see Civil War already, people.
Totally, absolutely. Like, call off work tomorrow. Don't like, anything. Just go see the movie. It's so damn good.
And it's so good. We're gonna make an entire cast about it because we really want to dive in deep into it. And
yeah, big time.
Nook and crannies, yeah. But yeah. Oh, so what other news do we got coming out?
The Russos are going to retitle the Infinity War films. It's not going to be part 1 and part 2. Because they said that would be confusing, and I thought, yeah, I think most of us have kind of thought that from the beginning, largely because you're going to have part 1, and then some films in between, and then part 2. Like, they weren't going to be one right after the other.
What's in between them?
God, I don't remember. I used to have the thing.
Yeah, no, here, I'll take a look real fast. I see that Phase 3 is going to have Infinity War 1, Captain Marvel, Inhumans, and then Part 2, which we're not going to get Inhumans now.
No, but that's where we're going to get our Fantastic Four film.
Yes.
That's right. You said Phase 3, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the timeline. I guess they showed...
Where is Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I apologize. It's Thor... Then it's Avengers. So it's Thor 2017.
Right.
And so next year we're getting 3 movies. We're getting Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man, Thor, and then 2018 after Thor we're getting Avengers, Infinity War, which are the first one.
Right. Then
we're gonna get a Black Panther, and then a Captain Marvel, and then the part 2.
Right.
Which whatever it's called now. So we're gonna have Captain Marvel and Black Panther in between, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So they're not gonna call them part 1 and part 2. My money's on they're gonna have, like, the first part's gonna be called Infinity Gauntlet, and then it's gonna be and then the second one will still be Infinity War, probably.
That makes sense. Have him get with the Gauntlet in the first one. His whole goal is to get all the stones.
Yeah.
And kill the Vision. In the meantime, he's got to, right? And so, and that makes sense. And then after that movie, we get Black Panther, we get Captain Marvel, and apparently we're going to see Captain Marvel ahead of time, so that's pretty cool.
Probably in the first in the first of that duo.
In the Avengers, absolutely. I hope we get Spider-Man throughout all these. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh man.
No, actually, it's gonna be great with Guardians, Spider-Man, and Thor. Like, I'm actually really excited about Thor too because of Hulk.
Yeah, just because they thought they looked at it and said, you know what, we have to do something different.
Yeah.
Because Thor: The Dark World did not work. I enjoyed that film, but it's not one of Marvel's best. It's
right.
Not. It's got some cute moments. It's got some fun moments. It's got some very strange, pantsless Soren Skarsgård moments, but.
Peter
Skarsgård. What did I say?
I watched the first one this weekend with my grandmother. When I went over to her house, I went over and she was watching TV, and I see Thor there with his shirt off. I'm like, oh, what are you doing, me, Mom? So I sat down and watched it with her. Yeah, it was good though.
The first Thor's like a good introduction film. It works. It works for that character.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened with Thor 2, but there was definitely at least a ball drop there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, they had some troubles with the director and stuff too.
That was true. And that's the thing. Like, that was kind of their first clash of these. I know Edgar Wright and Ant-Man kind of gets the big publicity because everybody knows Edgar Wright's name.
Right.
But the first clash was over Thor: The Dark World.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious what they're gonna do after Avengers. The second one, the Infinity War. I wonder if we're going to find out this year at Comic-Con, especially with Phase 4 and all of our little rumors and theories. I'm really excited to find that out this year.
Yeah, that should be interesting, especially with Fox not being there. That's so weird.
And some of the reviews coming out from the new X-Men movie are really, really bad. Look at. I sound like the Joker there for a second, but go look at Forbes' review. I think they literally call it a franchise killer.
Yeah, well, because that's when I want to review about a comic book movie, I go to Forbes.
No, well, I mean, but they're still credible. I get what you're saying. But Forbes is not BuzzFeed. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, they're not. Like, I would take USA Today over Forbes, and that's like with something like this. I'm not gonna go to like Time for a review. You know what I mean? Like, I want an IGN or a Kotaku or something like that. Just because it's
not their audience. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like for something, for something a little more serious, like then I'll go to something like. But even Forbes, like Forbes is a financial thing. I don't want them reviewing movies.
I think they're doing it to be like, here's the movie and this is why it's going to hurt the studio kind of thing. A lot of their stuff is like, how is this going to affect the finances of the studio and if you own stock in them and all that other kind of stuff. So I think that's why they called it that, where it's titled X-Men Apocalypse Review. It's a franchise killing disaster. Like, the title kind of it got like over 150,000 views in the last 24 hours. To be fair, they're not the only site saying that.
I mean, here's the thing. A franchise killer was the Fantastic Four reboot.
Oh,
that is the standard for what a franchise killer is, because that's exactly what it did. And I've not been the biggest fans of the X-Men films going forward, but even it would have to be really bad for even me to think, wow, this hurts. Because I was no fan of First Class. I wasn't big on Days of Future Past, but I was never like, oh my god, these are terrible. I was like, but God, if they're that bad, then I was right. No.
Right, they're basically saying, can it go on continuing with getting like 200 million domestic, and since it's not doing the same numbers as Avengers and everything else, can they still continue to try and compete with them?
Yeah, not when they cost as much as they have been.
Exactly, and I think that it. Never say never. A lot of people said never say, a lot of people said never with Spider-Man. They said nope, that franchise is too big, blah blah blah. And after a few duds, yikes, they huddled, they spoke with Disney, and now I'm more excited than ever than seeing a new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
And who knows? I don't know. We definitely think they're going to go that way with Fantastic Four. So, who knows? Maybe they killed it enough. Let's hope. But then they got Deadpool, of course, which.
Right. Well, and you'd have thought they would have killed it with Origins, but they found a way to come back from it. I mean, give them credit. I'll give them credit where it's due. That was a disaster. If anything could have killed the X-Men franchise, that would have been it.
That's true. It's going to be real interesting to see what they do after Wolverine 3. And don't we got some news about Wolverine 3?
Yeah, we do, actually. Where is it down here? Eric LaSalle from ER has joined the cast.
Okay.
We don't know who yet. It's just like Stephen Merchant. It's like, hey, here are these people that you've heard of, and some of you may even recognize. But we're not going to tell you who they're playing yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who he would play.
I don't know when they're going to announce that, because they're not going to be at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I'm
Who do you
telling
think
you,
he'd play if he was a hero?
Uh,
I think he'd be a good bishop, maybe.
he could.
He's stacked. I mean, he looks pretty tall.
Yeah.
I don't know. The other one didn't look like Bishop to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about him, but he just didn't look like Bishop.
No, it wasn't. I don't know. There was just something was off.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt about this whole franchise. So.
Yeah.
And now here's what's going to be interesting. Because they talked about was it Simon Kinberg said that the next X-Men movie that they're doing is going to be set in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, okay, are they going to go 90s aesthetic? Because I haven't seen Apocalypse. I don't know if they do the whole 80s deal or not. But,
yeah, they have the X-Men outfits in the new movie.
Okay.
Like I saw Cyclops. He legitimately wears the Cyclops outfit in the new movie, I think. Not the 90s, but like the 2000. I don't know how to explain it. It has the X on it, the big X on it. It's a blue outfit. I want pure 90s. I want the yellow strapped Cyclops with like, you know how like I can't explain it, but like his chest has that like that V almost on it, and it goes down to the belt buckle. Like the animated, I basically want them to look like the animated cartoon. I don't care how cheesy it looks. Deadpool pulled it off. All these other characters pull it off. Black Panther looks, dude, like he looks straight out of the comics. Spider-Man looks straight out of the comics. Captain America, all of these characters, when you think about it, Ant-Man, like of course he's gonna look silly by himself, you know, in a weird still.
Right.
Same with Doctor Strange, but gotta hand it to Marvel. They don't care. They're just like, fuck it. We're gonna make them look like what our fans, because that's who we're making it for.
Exactly. Like,
you know, they make it well enough so other people are like, of course they look silly, but what the fuck? We're seeing a comic book movie. Let's have some fun.
Exactly.
That's what I want from the X-Men. X-Men are too afraid of that. They're like, well, they might not take us seriously. I don't know what they're thinking. But man, I want Wolverine in that. I want Wolverine in the yellow. I really do.
It was funny. That was a deleted scene from the Wolverine.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's well overdue. I think that, you know, we've seen him the other way for how many pictures now?
God,
where he's
6?
he's just the wife beater shirt and the jeans, and that's it.
Well, let's not forget he originally had like the black outfit, you know.
Right.
Back when they all had jumpsuits.
Right. He had the black leather outfit. But like we've seen him those ways. I want to see the classic Wolverine. Even the brown one I'll take.
Right.
Right. Like even just I want the mask, pretty much. I want the mask, I want the suit. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Every Marvel character, they've given some excuse to why it makes sense. Ant-Man and Black Panther and Captain America and Iron Man, like they all make sense in their little world. And it's 2 seconds. Spider-Man makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like you can make it goofy at first and then like have them own it. Have him be like, this is awesome. This is, you know, was passed down to me or something. Like, I don't know. This means something, you know. And he wears it for honor or whatever. Like, who cares? Like, just put him in the freaking suit already. And I think Hugh Jackman has said something like that before. He was like, I dig that. I would totally dig that.
Hugh has been so pro all the stuff we want from Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, he really has. He's been like, look, this is the character. Let's do the character.
Remember when he took, like an AMA, he's like, just tell me what you guys want to see in the third one.
Yeah.
And I'll just give them all to me. I think he literally did that for the studio because they were probably like, well, let's go out big. What would people want?
Yeah.
And I gotta imagine seeing him in the suit has to be up there on top of the list.
It's got to be the top, I would think. As long as and look, that's the interesting thing with Wolverine's side movies. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna have to contradict myself. They've skewed a little more towards the grounded side. Silver Samurai aside. Uh,
Yeah. Well,
but
that one was really grounded, except for that end scene. I
right.
completely agree.
And that's and I don't know. Like they could make it work. They could absolutely make it work.
Yeah, that Wolverine film felt like Iron Man 3 almost, you know? Like
Yeah.
it felt more grounded and a little bit more character than they reined back from Origins. They're like, okay, that didn't work. Let's go, just let's see about him in Japan, you know? I think it worked great.
It definitely did.
All right, cool. We got any
Um,
more X-Men news?
well, we got some New Mutants news.
Okay.
Josh Boone, who's writing and directing the film, took to I think it was Instagram and did and unveiled the lineup. Now you're gonna have to help me with a couple of these
Okay.
because I'm not like Magic. I know.
Yes.
Wolfsbane, I'm not familiar with.
Turns into a wolf, if I
Okay,
remember correctly.
so they decided to make lycanthropy a mutant thing.
Yes.
Okay. Sure, why not? Mirage sounds familiar,
Hmm.
but not like that's one I don't remember.
Mirage.
Yeah.
1 second, hold on. Mirage. That is That's not. Was she? She was the. Hold on. She was. I think she was. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'll look it up. 1 second. Keep
Yeah,
going.
because I yeah
Oh,
like
okay. She's Native American mutant from the Cheyenne Reservation. She can communicate with the animal world, create illustrations, and her image projecting powers are telepathic.
okay,
So I
okay,
guess she can
yeah.
project images.
I remember her. I remember her now.
Probably make people think like see animals or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I remember her. Okay, cool. I like that. That's different.
Very
Uh,
different.
Cannonball, I remember
Yep.
is
Cool.
Sunspot. I don't remember. I get him confused with somebody else.
Well, Sunspot and Cannonball. No, Sunspot and I forget who are. They're like best friends or something. I forget. Um, but he absorbs like solar energy.
Right.
He transfers it basically.
He
He's got a
wasn't.
really cool image. Like the way he looked was like he'd be all blacked out besides his suit and his like glowing eyes.
Okay. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I was thinking of. I was thinking of somebody else. Uh, and then Warlock.
Yeah.
What in the what?
Well, yeah, he was a new mutant. That makes
I
perfect sense.
I mean, yeah, but man,
That's gonna be the Groot of the bunch. Like
that's
that's gonna be the crazy character.
that's exactly what I mean. Like this is the off the wall choice. Like
Yep.
they went here. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, he's known to be a new mutant. Like
I
that's
know.
yeah.
I'm just saying like that's gonna be kind of the response is like you've got all these things that are people and then that like this is a tribble on crack. I don't.
See, I'm surprised X-23 isn't in it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's in X-Force. Maybe they're saving her for X-Force.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. That'd probably be it.
Cool. Well, let's take a break. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And yeah, we were just talking about finishing up the X-Men news.
What?
I can't wait.
Yeah, you said something during break. Say that again about the choices they made.
Yeah, I love the choices. It's pretty much the original team. When I went back and looked at #1 issue, I'm surprised they didn't pick someone to like that was very popular, like Jubilee or something. I'm thinking, or maybe Rogue, someone that we know as an audience that not other people know, to bring them in. Like, who do you think's training them? They have to have someone training them, and I think it's either probably going to be maybe Professor X, or like Rogue, or I don't know. It's got to be someone. It's either going to be Professor X or someone that is a little young. I don't know. Who do you think would be training him?
My mind always jumps to Cyclops.
That makes sense. It says here that the trainers for the team were Professor X, and when it wasn't him, it was Magneto, and when it wasn't him, it was Cable.
Okay, well, there's a hell of a lineup for you. Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, and I mean, I just keep thinking, what was one of the biggest nerd criticisms thrown at First Class? It wasn't the actual First Class.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I wonder if at least Josh has been listening and it was like, okay, you guys want the original lineup? You're gonna get the original lineup.
Right. Yeah. Yep. No, I completely agree. That was one of the biggest problems with that. The movie I liked, I really liked, but yes, that was the thing where I was like, but it's not really the First Class.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Oh
right. What
well.
else we got?
We got some MIB 23 news,
Jeez.
which is a phrase that's always gonna make me giggle. Uh, James Bobbin. I think Bobin because there's just one B there, but is going to direct the upcoming bizarre crossover film, and I guess it would make sense that he would do strange, trippy, probably isn't going to be as good as people think kind of movies because he's doing Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Yeah, that does look really odd.
Well, and I mean, here's the thing. I did not like Alice in Wonderland. I did not. I've never made any bones about that.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I know why they made a sequel because it legit made $1 billion. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't they do a sequel 6 years later?
It's been that long.
I'm pretty sure at least.
Jeez.
It
Yeah.
had to be 09 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I don't think I might have seen it. Might have seen parts of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think when like Tweedledee and Tweedledum came on the scene, I was like, okay, I'm done.
yeah,
That was okay. I'm done. Not for me.
yeah. But I don't know. I saw the trailer for it. You know, they aired it before Civil War, obviously, because it's a Disney film. And I was like, hey, this is trying to look charming. That's points for effort.
I dug the song. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah,
The song and the trippiness was like, that's cool. But everything else, I'm like, not for me. But okay.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We keep getting updates on the. This was something else that came from the Sony leak, since we're kind of still on the same. To get back on track here, uh, there was talk that they were going to reboot The Craft. Now, if anybody doesn't remember that, it was first of all shame. Second of all, it was a teen occult drama. It was a teen girl high school drama about witchcraft, and it was in '96. So that should tell you exactly what kind of movie it was.
Yep.
And you'd be right. But the Douglas Wick, who produced the original and is producing this new one, is now coming out, and he said, no, it's not a reboot, it's a sequel.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, well, that kind of definitely changes things.
Yeah, I forgot how the first one went.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Remember Nev Campbell in it?
Oh
Like
God,
a
that's
really
right.
gothic girl. I just forget her name.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Robin Tunney is who I remember. Looking really goth in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. She was in that.
Yes.
Yeah, totally forgot
and
about that.
oh, the girl, she's huge mouth. I can't think of her name. Hold on, let me go down. Oh yeah. Oh, I can't pronounce that. Farazua Balk.
Sure.
Yeah, she was in Almost Famous, American History X, The Water Boy.
Okay.
Yeah. You see a picture of her, you'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
probably. Well, because I mean, like late '90s to like early
Yeah.
2000s, there were a bunch of actors, guys and girls that were like, oh yeah, they did all of these kind of movies and then just disappeared.
Yeah, she was the girlfriend on Water Boy, so I don't know if you
Okay.
remember that. Yeah. Yeah. But go ahead, sorry.
I just, I okay. Did you see the new Iron Man suits that the Power Rangers are getting?
Yeah.
That's they're,
Well,
they're just straight up Iron Man suits. They're monochrome
makes sense.
Iron Man suits.
They were shiny in the movie at the end. I mean, it makes sense why they'd put them in like
well, but I mean,
Iron Man type suits and not like
but they were, come on, they were still plastic. Like,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It makes sense to me. You got to get with the times.
Yeah, but I
If
mean,
you're upset about it, go look at the original costumes.
True.
Go back,
True.
watch a show that was chopped up from 50 other Japanese shows. It's hard to get upset about that.
I'm looking at I'm not upset with like, this is what they're making the Power Rangers wear. I'm like, this is the best they could do. Like this,
I think there's too much going on. Like there's too many different ridges.
Right.
I wish it was more like one piece suits or what. I don't know. Like Iron Man at least is like, it's not all over. It's not like 60 abs there. It's like 3 or 4 solid pieces.
Right. It looks like they're made out of crystal, in a sense, just because of how jagged they are. Like and I don't. But like they really did. They were like, okay, we'll start with Iron Man armor, and we'll make it one color, and then like we'll put in some extra edges, and there we go. That looks good.
Yep.
Like that was it. Like that's the part that disappoints me. Was like I don't know. It's not like, oh, they don't look like the original. Of course they don't look like the original. That would kind of be stupid.
Yeah.
But just the fact that there was so little, apparently very little creativity that went into this. Like they could have come up with I want to see some of the rejected designs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think they look fine. I think it's straight up a drawing. Like, I don't think those are real people in suits. I think we literally are looking at concept art. That's maybe what the problem is, but it looks like concept art.
I think it's promotional art. Like, I don't think it's a set shot, but I definitely think like it's a final image.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. Well, no. I know that. I'm just saying it looks like like concept art, and they were just like, "That's the one. Print it."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just what it looks like to me. I'm sure that's the final design, and that's what they'll look like in the movie. But it just looks like they were like, "All right, let's print it. Put it in the press."
Yeah. I don't know.
Yep. I don't know. That's not what I'm worried about
right.
This movie. What they look like, I think they did okay. I'm worried more about what the movie's gonna be about and how that's gonna. If I'm gonna, that one's gonna be iffy. But I'm excited. The fact we're getting a Power Rangers movie in 2017. I mean, that's all I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It could be terrible, and I'll be like, all right, well, we at least got one. They tried.
Yeah. That worked so well when they tried to do a Final Fantasy movie.
Yeah, but hey, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people gave Ninja Turtles a bunch of crap from looking at the designs, and that movie actually wasn't that bad.
And then they changed the designs.
True. I mean, they could change it in the sequel. They could just be like, we got new Morphin suits, Morphin time, woo! Like,
fair enough.
And they could add, the Green Ranger and the White Ranger or whatever. Like, it can expand. It can get better.
True.
Yeah.
Sorry. I love the quality of discussion about this. Like, we're really picking this apart, and it's like, dude, I can just hear people that are like, guys, it's Power Rangers, really? Like,
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's just Power Rangers.
Yeah, fair enough.
But to some people, it is. I mean, some people that's their childhood.
Yeah.
It's got to look like it. I'm the same way with some other characters. Star Wars, I'm like that. I'm like, no. But some of the things they get right.
Yeah. It's like, no, you put that back. You can't handle this responsibility. You put that design model down right now.
Put that toy back in the box and leave it there.
Yeah. Somebody who knows how to play with it will come along in 20 years, and then we'll be okay.
Exactly.
Little JJ isn't quite grown up yet. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, I can't wait for the rest of those.
Yeah. Ooh. Speaking of things that aren't ever going to happen, because we've heard they're not going to ever recast Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tempted to believe that for the next 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see. But on the off chance that they were lying about that, Megan Fox has come forward and said, I'll play the next Indiana Jones.
Okay, I can say the same thing. I'll play it.
Yeah.
Adam from Orlando, I'll play it.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to come of that. She can say that all she wants.
Well, and here's the other thing. No.
Yeah. Nope,
Just no.
it's not gonna happen.
No. Um, you know, and if anybody says why not, pick any Megan Fox movie. Any, not just the Transformers ones, not just Jonah Hex, not just Jennifer's Body, not just uh, even Turtles. Like I don't know, there were hints of actual talent there, but then
Right.
we saw the trailer for the second one, and I thought, no, no, no. And
Nope.
I don't know who to blame for that, but just no,
No, she wouldn't fit that role.
no,
If they decided to go with the female Indiana Jones, definitely would not be her.
no.
Plus, we already got a Tomb Raider movie coming out, so
Right, which is essentially what that is.
yeah, yeah. So try again.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, they're making an Andre the Giant movie. Yay.
Okay,
There
who's
was
playing Andre?
we don't know yet. All we know is
Oh, please be Andre 3000. Please be Andre 3000. I'm just kidding. Imagine that would be a weird movie.
you ain't kidding,
And
man.
put him into every scene that Andre the Giant would be.
Oh
Sorry,
my
I'm getting
god.
sorry.
No, but hey, look, like that's an idea. How do you think some of the movies that get made actually get made? Like
Right.
that's an idea.
Kanye or Kanye or no Kanye, yeah Kanye or let me collect my thoughts here.
The
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 Alien Film movie that just came out.
do what? Oh, Keanu, the cat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like that probably came as a bit. It was
That
the skit that they were like, we could make this movie.
yeah, and they did.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? More power to him. And Key and Peele, I admit I have not seen a tremendous amount of Key and Peele.
Oh, you
But
got
what?
to. I want to see that movie.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like what I have seen, I've loved. Like they had they've had Keegan Michael Key on the new seasons of Whose Line Is It Anyway, a handful
Uh,
of times, and he kills.
oh, I
He
bet they're great. I
he
just saw
absolutely kills.
there's a YouTube channel. I don't know the name of it, where basically they eat the hottest chicken wings,
Okay.
and I think like the guy interviewing them has like seven lined up, and each one of them have seven lined up, and they get hotter and hotter and hotter. And by the second or third one, they're just screaming at this man like, "What is wrong with you? Why are we doing this? Is this even real? What is going on?" They just you slowly watch them over a matter of 15 minutes lose their mind and just get like they get so far out there with like they like one of them like I forgot one of them he was like I'm blind or something. It's like I literally can't see right now. It is hilarious. I'll figure it out by the end of the show. I'll tell you guys, but they're funny. I could totally see them killing it something like that. Uh you got to see the one their bit where it's about the text messages where they do where how text messages because the way it's sent as text you can't tell the tone of their voice or anything
Right.
else and he's like, "Wait, what do you mean I'll be there?" Like, and it literally just gets overborne. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. You got to see that skit.
Nice.
Yeah, just not. I don't know what it's called, but it's like not understanding text messages.
Okay.
It's really good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Speaking of things that are very strange, did you see the Yoga Hosers trailer?
I did.
Look,
Yeah. So that's a thing.
it is a thing, and that's the point. That's Kevin's whole point. Hey, I wanted to make this movie, so I made it.
Yeah.
And his fans, his fans, they may come up and they may pat him on the back and say, "Well, Kevin, you made a film," and that probably be about the end of that discussion because they're not like there's a difference between enjoying something. It's objective and subjective. You can say this is a good film, I don't enjoy it, and vice versa. Tusk, not a great film, but I loved it. Yoga Hosers looks to go about the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it. I mean, even Tusk was in the trailer. It was a little bit more grounded than this. This looks wacky.
Right,
like
and that's the point.
like the sausage. I didn't know. Like what is? Are they high? What's going on with this?
Right.
But
Ugh.
anyway, we got to take a break real fast. We'll get back. We'll get into some TV news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and I think we're into some TV news now.
Yeah, we got a little bit of TV news to go over. The interesting TV news is that Supergirl has not yet been officially renewed at CBS.
Mm,
I don't believe. Now, maybe I think the deadline was today, so by the time you're hearing this, that may have been resolved.
okay.
Because I forget when upfronts are. They're either this week or next week, and I think they're this week.
Right.
Um, but I'll have to check. But anyway, by either this week or next week, we'll know for sure. The rumor is that they may not be able to afford to do it on CBS anymore, but they still want to do it, so they may kick it to a different network that they have a little stake in that has kind of a decent track record when it comes to superhero shows.
Hmm.
The CW may turn into the superhero channel. It just
Yeah.
might.
It might as well at this point. It's what sells over there.
And it works. And it's good programming. I started watching, they've got the first season of iZombie on Netflix. And I was like, well, I'll give this a shot. It's a comic book show, plus it looks interesting. And it's actually really fun.
Yeah, one of the guys that were on it were on the Kind of Funny podcast like a few weeks ago. The British guy. His name was it Robbie on the show?
Okay?
Raul. Yeah, Raul is his name in real life, but yeah, Robbie.
Oh,
Rabi.
on that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's like a huge gamer, total nerd. He was on the Kind of Funny show. I don't know. Just it was great to hear him, and I was like, oh, okay, he was in that iZombie show. Made me think about it. Went and watched the first episode, and I was like, wow, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's,
CW works. It has that. I was talking to someone about that the other day because I was like, we were talking about. She was telling me like, remember the OC? Remember One Tree Hill? And I was like, oh yeah. And those weren't kind of my shows, but I fell into them because, let's be honest, like girls in high school loved them, so that's why I watched them. And then I was like, okay, these aren't that bad. And I think now maybe it's a little bit the other way. Like it's more superhero stuff, so you're gonna have, of course, your nerd army come, but it also has that melodrama.
yeah.
So like it can get both sides. It can get very romantic and stuff like that, and at the same time, it can get very comic booky. So I think they do a perfect mix, so you can have different audiences, and I think Supergirl does that fantastically. It would fit perfectly in their mold with Oliver Queen and Flash and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could definitely work, for sure. And
Yeah.
especially because it's the same production house, so they know, like, these guys have a track record, but, Berlanti knows what he's doing. This is,
Yep.
this is not some unproven entity. And what I love, and I was thinking about this the other day, was how fast they got Constantine onto Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, it's fast.
yeah, like almost instantly. They were like, well, we canceled the show, and they're like, great, we need to go back and we'll put him in this episode right now. Like, okay, that was fast.
Yep.
And I kept thinking, like, so then how do the rights work at that point? Because I kept thinking about movies and how, like, the studio has however many years where they have to do something with a character or a property or whatever.
Right.
Do the networks not actually have that kind of control?
I don't think so. Not over something like Constant Thing. And I think they bid over it too. Like I think Fox had to get the rights. They bid for the rights of Batman to do
Yeah.
Gotham. And look what they did. They didn't even have him in it. Like it's kind of disappointing,
Well, but
Like,
I mean, it comes with everything else. That they wanted the universe. They didn't just
Right.
want Batman. They wanted everything that went with it.
Oh yeah.
And there was a great, we were talking about all this stuff. There was a great, Kevin Smith had I'm totally blanking on his name. I think it was Paul Dini who did who did the Batman animated stuff. He had him on a couple episodes of Fat Man on Batman a couple years ago, like when Gotham was like first announced
Okay.
as like, hey, we're doing a Batman show on Fox set before he was Batman.
Uh-huh.
And they kind of brainstormed a show that I would have watched the hell out of. And it was basically like what they were it was gonna be, they were gonna title it like Bloodhaven Academy, and it was basically gonna be Bruce Wayne in high school. And you would have like all these little side characters who would have, you would have like, oh, well, and here we're going to have your psychology class taught by recent graduate Professor Crane, and so on and so, just little things like that sprinkled through, and they brainstormed like this whole big thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have been awesome. That would have been really cool.
Oh yeah. They need to age Bruce Wayne in that show to like 17 or 18 real fast. It's really lost my interest. When was the last episode you saw?
Before the break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need to age him fast. They need to get Batman into the streets. I don't know. To me, at least with Smallville, he didn't have the cape, he didn't have whatever, but he was still Superman. You still got to see him be this character. With this, you just see him as a little kid, and it's a little disappointing. And the kid's a great actor and everything, but like I don't like watching him and Alfred do the same thing every week.
Right.
Who killed my parents? I'm gonna find out. I don't care if people die around me. I don't care if other people's parents get killed. I need to figure it out.
Like he does kind of seem to live in his own little vacuum.
Oh, he does. He totally does. And I don't know. That show's just.
Yeah, just I don't know. Like they could have done, and then when they said, "Oh, we're actually gonna do is this," and they're gonna and they pitched it as like, "Oh, it's gonna be like GCPD Blue."
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'm totally down with that. And they have great elements of that in the show, but that's just it. They have elements of it. They have pieces of it.
Right.
But then they were like, oh, and like the whole thing with Bruce Wayne was like, oh, they're going to introduce this, and that's going to be like the touching off point. Like,
yeah.
Like Gordon comes to Gotham, and this is the first case he catches. Mm-hmm. And then that's kind of it. But then they were like, no, this has to be brought to the forefront, and then we're not actually going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, that was why I was like, yeah, I'll watch it like half a season at a time. Like, I'm not interested.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was a bummer.
Yep, I hear that.
So, and where were we here? Oh, speaking of disappointing things on Fox, did you see they have ordered pilots for their TV reboots of Lethal Weapon and The Exorcist?
Oh God.
Don't
they have Rush Hour?
No, that's CBS.
Oh jeez. It's like,
why?
Yeah.
Why? We're doing, like, look, some movies you can bring to TV. You can do a TV show based on them. Minority Report didn't work.
Nope.
Because that was not one of them. Lethal Weapon will not work because it's not one of them. The Exorcist will not work because that's not one of them.
Right.
Rush Hour will not work because that's not one of them. And then you have the ones going the other way, like they're doing a Three's Company film.
That's what I mean. Like we're taking franchises that don't need sequels, don't need. This is what I was talking about a podcast ago or two, where it was just the original idea. It's totally gone. They are scraping the. Next thing we're gonna get is a Forrest the Gump television show, a Clueless television show, a Fight Club series. I mean. It's like there's no original thought anymore. We got Fargo, like that.
Fargo
apparently
worked.
That's good.
Yeah.
but it's weird. It's like we don't need a Dazed and Confused television show. We don't need the Professional series. We don't need to take these franchises that were great with what they were in like the 90s. Like we don't need a Can't Hardly Wait season 16. Like we don't need any of that. Keep it where it's at. The Sandlot, or like leave it where it is. We're gonna get a 10 Things I Hate About You TV show. So I'm not kidding. When we got Fargo, that's where I was like, okay, they don't even care anymore. We're gonna get a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The threequel. Like it doesn't make any sense. At this point I'm totally lost with it.
Look, I'm only going to think that this epidemic sucks if we don't get an Alf film.
Oh God.
Like, I'm sorry. No, you can't end a series with the government coming and taking Alf away, and that's the end of it. No.
I, I don't know much about Alf. I knew I had a T-shirt with him on it. I knew
Yeah.
he like lived on a couch, but that's about it.
And he was fuzzy, and he was adorable, and he was funny, and it was a family show, and then the CIA showed up, and they took him away.
Yep, I don't know anything about
And I
him.
was like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
I know he was sarcastic, but that's about it.
Yeah, and 8 cats, I think, if I remember
Yeah.
right. But no, if
Yep.
you're not gonna give me that full-length feature $100 million budget film, then this whole entire experiment has been a waste of time and money and talent
Right.
in film
Yep.
and canned laughter from non-existent studio audiences.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the interesting thing about laugh tracks. A lot of those were recorded so long ago that the people laughing on that are dead now.
That is such a morbid thought.
I know, isn't it though? But isn't it kind of interesting at the same time? Like, we're still using, we're using I Love Lucy laugh tracks in some of these shows.
Oh, we are?
And like some
That
of
is
these,
bizarre.
some of these laugh tracks, because it's just laughter. Like, you don't distinguish between them. And, yes, some film in front of live audiences, and I'm sure that plenty of these have been updated. I have no doubt about that. But
Right.
somewhere out there, they're like, hey, let's use this one from Newhart.
Yeah, the Big Bang Theory is like that. It's a lot of laugh tracks.
Yeah. Even for as much as they shoot in front of a live audience, it's like, because you can tell, especially because we've seen so many sitcoms.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We've grown accustomed to when it's live, it sounds different.
Hmm.
And it's almost strange when we're like, oh, well, that was odd.
Right. Yeah, you'll get that one guy go, woo! Or whatever.
Yeah.
Get really loud and scream. You're like, oh, that's different.
It's like, that's live. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get in some more TV and video game news. You're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got some TV news to talk about, and then some more video game news.
Yeah, we got IDW Entertainment is trying once again to bring Lock and Key to television.
Okay.
They kicked this idea around, like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And if I remember right, Fox optioned it, I think. And then it just kind of fell through.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
But yeah, no, that was a long time ago. And they're like, no, we move forward with this. We move onward. So that's, okay, cool. That's a comic that I've not, like, I think I read the first issue and I was like, wow, this is super creepy.
Yeah.
And then, like, I just, for whatever reason, I didn't go back to. I want to go back to it again at some point, though.
Yeah.
Because it's really creepy.
Yeah, never, don't think I've ever read Lock and Key before.
You ought to pick up the first, I don't know how they're bundled. Because it's a
first volume is
yeah.
Welcome to Lovecraft.
Okay. Because it's a complete story. Like, it has, it's not an ongoing thing. Like, it's its own, it's a story. It's done. It has a beginning and an end.
Right. I mean, first arc is Welcome to Lovecraft.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, oh wait, so like it's a Lovecraft tale?
From what I understand, it's more, it's not like, from what I know, and I may be completely wrong because I haven't read that much of it, but it's more on the madness side than on kind of the
It's not an H.P. Lovecraft story though.
Right.
Okay. It's in vein of H.P. Lovecraft.
That's
stories.
it. That's the phrase I was looking for.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce Cthulhu?
Cthulhu.
And is it like, where did I see it? Actually, recently, where they were like, I love how it's mispronounced everywhere because there's like no real way to say it.
Exactly, like that's the idea.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, oh, a word I can mispronounce and not feel bad for.
Right.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, no, that's cool. That's dope.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, pick up the first volume of that.
Yeah, and this was something that I found curious. they're working on, and I didn't see a network or anything. And I don't know if maybe I just missed it, but they're producing. There is in production. I'll say this: a 10-part series based on the works of Philip K. Dick, who did Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and so on and so on. And it's called Electric Dreams, the world of Philip K. Dick. And each episode is going to be a different short story.
Oh,
So that it's gonna be an anthology series like that. And that alone, I was like, well, okay, that's curious. And then they were like, oh, and Bryan Cranston's gonna star in it. And I went, you have my attention.
right. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
That's it.
Oh God, what a scene! Jesus.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I can see Hulu or Netflix totally doing this.
Yeah, it definitely smacks of like a Hulu and Netflix series for sure.
Yeah,
but, or something awesome. Like AMC.
Yeah,
some of the higher up cable channels.
Right, totally. Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that would be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
And I think that's kind of it for TV news. Did you? Unless you've got anything there that I don't have.
I thought I did, but I can't find it, so
okay.
We'll come back if we find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some video game news, and we'll go ahead and do the Star Wars news. We'll go ahead and do that because I love the announcement because it said nothing other than, hey, EA is working with Respawn Entertainment, the guys who did Titanfall, to make a third-person action adventure Star Wars game.
Yes, and it's going to be in the new timeline.
Right.
Yeah. So, which everyone pretty much assumed. Dude, call me crazy. I would love some prequel Warfare Battlefield stuff.
I'd be okay with that.
I would love the droids and the clone troopers and the Naboo, and I don't know why. I know that's like a lot of people are screaming, why? No, why would you want that? I don't know. Of all the things from those movies to play like a Battlefield game or Battlefront game in that setting would be cool as hell.
Yeah. Oh, totally would.
Yeah. Roger. Like, I mean, as cheesy as that is, that would be cool. It would be fun.
Yeah. It would be fun. And there's your point.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think they should get away from I totally get why you're getting away from all of that in the movies. Totally makes sense. Same with the TV shows. Totally makes sense. Comic world, you're exploring it still. So, I mean,
right.
I don't know. I also don't like how they're like, everything needs to be canon. I get why you want the TV shows and the movies and whatever to sync up. And the comics is cool too. It's all canon. The video games, go bananas.
Exactly.
I don't care. Like, I don't need the Lego story to be canon. I don't need. We're laughing, but it's canon. They've actually said the Lego stuff is canon. I'm like, no way. Like, I just saw a trailer for the Lego Star Wars. I might be jumping ahead, but I saw a trailer for the Lego Star Wars game where like Han Solo says to get the Chewbacca, the Wookiee cookies. It's like, no way is that canon. That's not canon. So anyway, I'm getting off topic, but I would dig prequel era stuff, or at least as like DLC or something. Put us on Naboo where we are, droids, and the droided cars roll up as like one of your supers or whatever. Like, that would be sick. Like,
yeah,
that would be really cool.
It would play like the old Battlefront games.
Yes, exactly.
That was part of why those worked. It was just like, hey, here's a massive army, and here's a massive army. Go.
Right. I feel like we're all just humans running into each other. It's like that's the one thing they really need to change in the new one. Make it diverse. You have this universe so chock full of aliens.
Right.
Show us some. Let us play as some. I don't care if it's not canon. I don't care if it was just humans fighting humans. Put some Ewoks in there. We need Ewoks in it. We need Wookiees in it. We need, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. We need some of that in the Star Wars games.
Exactly. But, and I mean, this is on top of everything that all of EA's other studios are working on that we still know nothing about.
Well, there is some other news. I don't know if,
Do you have it? I didn't.
I don't think I have. It was the game that what's the studio? Versatile? No,
Visceral,
Visceral.
the Dead
Their
Space
game.
guys.
It's coming out next year,
Okay,
2017. Um, I don't know if that was on the news here.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Yeah. So that officially is coming out next year.
Okay, so we'll see. And EA is, I don't know if they're skipping E3, but I know that like 2 days before E3, they're doing their own thing.
Okay.
So June, was it June 12th? I think they're doing, because that's when they're going to talk more about Mass Effect Andromeda,
Oh, okay.
because that's coming out early next year. They said. So
Gotcha.
they're like they have, what do they call it? Play Pass, I think, and that's on the 12th next month.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be that's we're gonna get some interesting news at E3, and I do think EA is gonna bring the Star Wars. I think they
Hmm.
kind of have to, especially since they're not gonna be in Disney Infinity anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Man, that pissed me off so much.
Yeah. Well, that's big news. Let's talk about it.
Disney is closing. What is it? Avalanche Studios? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
Because they're saying, hey, you know what? Disney Infinity didn't actually do as well as we needed it to. So we're like, they have like two more packs coming out, and then that's it.
Yep.
No, and so they're closing the studio, which is going to cost 300 around 300 jobs, I think it said. And they're going to eat the termination cost, which is $147 million. Uh,
Yeah.
or roughly their profit from Civil War for the last week.
Yep.
like, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's man, that just sucks. But
Yeah.
it highlights to me. I look at it and I think, wow, Disney can't found a studio, can't found.
Right.
Yeah, that's the right phrase. A studio to make a solid enough game to turn a profit. Like even something like that. Like this is something that should have killed. And
Yes.
especially like the more I play it, the gameplay's solid. I mean, it
Hmm.
plays like the Lego games, except it's just It's just the only difference is it's just not Legos.
Right.
That's the only difference. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this should have sold like gangbusters,
Hmm.
because they have every Disney character under the sun licensed for this. It's toys and video games mixed. It's the reason why we have amiibos. It's why Skylanders took off like it did.
Hmm.
And I guess I still though I'm not sure why Disney Infinity kind of failed to launch.
Yeah.
I mean it works. It functions. It's what this is made specifically for, like, oh, we can have kids who collect toys and play video games. This is where they can do both. And they can
Right.
buy the toys to play in the video games and make boatloads of money. And I'm a little confused.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at any of the numbers. I didn't know if it was doing bad. I don't know if like maybe Skylanders beats it. If kids just would rather have that kind of stuff. I thought it was killing it. I know that Nintendo's making a killing with their Meebos or whatever they're called.
Well,
Um,
and I mean and I don't know. I guess maybe that's the difference, because Disney Infinity is its own architecture, it's its own whole system, and the amiibo is something that you can use across games,
right.
so many different games. I
Yeah.
The only thing I'm curious about is, like, what does this mean for like the content that's up there now? Like, are we talking about a shutdown here, or is it just going to be like, okay, and we have everything up to this point, and now we go no further?
It means you should go buy the toys immediately because they're going to be worth money later.
That's
Because if they stop production,
Yeah, that's true.
they're going to be worth something, especially the rare ones. I imagine right now, I'm not kidding, probably in the next week, you're going to see these things fly off the shelf with
Yeah.
this news. I guarantee you the Star Wars collectors out there are going to go get the entire set right now because that means that the things that are out right now is all that's going to be out right now. And knowing that, and knowing that it's mixed with Disney, oh god, they're gonna be worth something later on. Knowing that that line of toys ceased to exist, they only lasted for a year or two. They're gonna be rare. They really are. I think they just created a a buyer's. Of course they just lost millions of dollars. But and hundreds of jobs. Like, it's horrible. But you're gonna see a lot of people going out there and buying those toys now, and it sucks because it's like, hey, you should have done that a few weeks ago. You should have done that months ago. You should have done that a few years ago.
Well,
when they
but
did
I mean,
the Infinity 2 and 3.
Yeah, but I mean, like, here's the thing: those people were never gonna buy them because they had no interest in the game.
That's true.
Like,
Well, I'm curious what the ratio is. The people that buy those that actually play the game, or the people that buy those and put them in the box up on the shelf.
yeah, I don't think I think because of the comics bust. I think the idea of everything is a collectible is kind of fallen by the wayside.
I think you're underestimating the toy market. I think you're underestimating toy collectors. I get what you're saying. I totally do. It's nothing like it was in the 90s.
Right. Oh, I agree. They're still out there, and there's still. I am sure there are more than I think that there are.
I think we're on the same page. Like, we both are shocked by this. That we thought that the fact that it's Star Wars, the fact that it's Marvel characters, the fact that it's toys collectibles, it all just seemed like a perfect. Bro, you almost had me out last week buying this.
I'm telling you, man. Like,
I was still considering it, and now
you know,
it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm bummed because I went out and picked it up, and hats off to the GameStop manager who was like, you know what, we don't have anything left from this deal, but the Saga bundle's been sitting up there on that shelf for a year, and like, look, I'll give that to you at this price. Just get it the hell out of here.
Yeah, I would have done that because it's weird because I'm the one that usually likes those kind of games. I'm the one that's like, I like this Lego game, where you're like, eh. And I'm curious now to see what Lego Dimensions how that's gonna end up.
Well, I mean, I think the Lego games are solid because they're making money hand over fist.
No, I mean Lego Dimensions, where we have to buy the
all the different packs,
right?
Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo pack, the Back to the Future, and maybe because those might have a little bit of diversity, and they're also Legos. Like, with those, you're buying Lego kits. You're legitimately creating something. You're building something, and then you're able to use the little figure and put it on there. And that's maybe the big difference is with the figures there, they're Lego figures. Where these were like, you couldn't take them off the stand.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
True.
Like Scooby-Doo, you were building the machine. With Back to the Future, you were building the car.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool.
It's going to be interesting if, like, a year from now, you get a Lego Dimensions Star Wars set.
Well, it could absolutely happen.
That's going to be interesting to see. And I think because the other part of Disney's statement was they're going to go back to licensing. They're going to stop trying to make them in-house and just go back to licensing.
Good. I want to see, other studios handle their properties. Like, I want to see a cool Mickey game,
We had one a few years ago.
Yeah, the what was it called?
Yeah,
Did like a paintbrush?
Yeah, it was Epic Mickey.
Epic Mickey, yeah. Like stuff like that. That's cool. Their movies would make great video games, but they're always just apps and stuff. That's been the problem with these companies for the last however many years. That's why we haven't gotten a proper Marvel video game. We have all of these movies making game busters. We can't get a video game out of them for nothing.
No, we really can't.
Think about it. We just got Civil War. We should be playing a video game like that, and it is prime for that kind of stuff. We can't even get.
It was called Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
That's what I mean. It's been years since we've gotten anything like that. And that's like a top-down, whatever. We can't get anything like that off the ground, and yet we're at least starting to get some Star Wars. And the Visceral thing, by the way, is 2018. So I think, next year is going to be Battlefront, and then the year. Oh, God, it's going to be so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to bring something to their, whether it's their little thing or E3, because I don't know if they're skipping E3 as well. Because I know there's a couple that are. We don't, obviously Nintendo is.
Well, no, hold on. When we say skip E3,
press conference.
Yeah. No, they're doing a press conference. That's the thing. They're skipping the floor. They're doing a press. All these things are doing a press conference.
Okay.
They're skipping their space on the floor. They said we're not going to put our video game out there for people to
Right.
play. They're still doing the we're E3, we're EA, and here's our games.
Okay. As opposed to Nintendo, who's doing the exact opposite of that.
Well, Nintendo hasn't done a press conference in a long time. They just did their
They do their Nintendo Directs.
Nintendo Direct, and they're still doing that. There will be a Nintendo Direct this year.
Right.
It will be all about Zelda.
Right. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I couldn't figure out. Like, because I know Nintendo's doing their floor thing,
Right.
but they're not doing like the traditional press conference.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Well,
Right.
they're doing they haven't done a traditional press conference in 4 or 5 years, right?
Hadn't been more than 3, I don't think.
3. Okay, yeah. So they haven't. They get their slot where Nintendo's. This is where their thing is going to be released, and everyone watches it.
Right.
Which honestly, they should just start doing with the rest of them. I love the grand and the anticipation and seeing it in front of a live audience, and that's cool and all. I totally see them going like, hey, we don't have to spend all this money. We can just release videos and everyone's still going to watch it at home.
A part of me agrees with that, and then I want to go back and watch the reaction videos to when they announced the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I love the grandeur of it all. I'm just made up that word. I love the
grandeur, you're right, that's a word.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone out there, and I love all of that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, don't need all that. I'd rather just like, here's the date we're going to talk for an hour about upcoming. Either way, but we're still going to get all that. We're still going to get all that stuff. I'm excited for Blizzard as well, BlizzCon. So there's some cool stuff coming up. Where were we? Yes, so Star Wars.
Yeah. So
Respawn Entertainment, Titanfall. So a new third-person action Star Wars game. So
so there won't be any story to this one either, then, I guess.
What do you mean? No, well, there was someone else they worked on. They worked on these are the same people from who did God of War, apparently.
Respawn?
The guy who's heading this apparently was ex God of War.
Really? So he was Santa Monica before all this, then?
Yeah, let me look up the article while you talk.
Yeah, because that would be interesting. Because didn't they also do Evolve? Wasn't that them, or was that? Shoot, was that them or was that somebody else? I don't know. That's the one for me to look up. You've got that. I've got this. Because I don't remember. I know there are like a handful of people screaming at their headphones right now. Just because they're like, how can you not remember that? Because I didn't really play it all that much. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Was not a big fan for me.
It's the director. The guy who's behind this. Respawn hired the director. His name's Sting. He is. He was the director of God of War. So, I imagine this is going to be like their Force Unleashed type game, because that's exactly what the Force Unleashed was. It was, hey, let's do the Force Unleashed with a Star Wars character, which I didn't like. Man, I want Jedi Knight game.
Yeah.
Through and through, PC Jedi Knight. Fucking give me that. I will build a PC just to play that game. Yeah, absolutely. But the Force Awakens series just felt like it was cool. It was Star Wars, but it was not my cup of tea. It was like, okay, this is just God of War. But anyway, it's Star Wars, so gotta be excited about it.
And these guys have just done Titanfall. That's it.
Okay, yep, they just did Titanfall, so who knows? It's not a multiplayer only type game. It's a story-driven third-person action. So,
do we know that it has story?
Yeah, it's a third-person action game. It's not going to be a
I don't know about that. You could say that you could classify Battlefront as third-person.
Right, they're not going to do a battle. They're not going to compete with themselves to do a multiplayer-only third-person Battlefront type game. That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think that the what's her name from Uncharted, when she went over and she's working with was it Visceral, I think they're doing an Uncharted type game with Star Wars characters. So it's going to be completely story driven. I really think the Respawn one is going to be more action like God of War.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then you have your Battlefront, which is just straight like first person shooter.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I think they'll go about it, which is great. I mean, I just wish they took some of that and they were like, hey, we have all these Marvel characters. Let's do something there.
Right? Like,
Yeah, like let's go do some X-Men or something. Come on. Deadpool was pretty much the last good superhero game that I played.
yeah, and Deadpool wasn't bad. Like it was a standard. It was a perfect 7 out of 10.
Yeah, totally.
It did exactly what it wanted to do, no more, no less.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
it was fun and enjoyable and definitely worth it. Didn't they did re-release it on current gen. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah. It's always on sale every once in well, always every once in a while. That doesn't make sense, but
Yeah.
every once in a while it is on sale. Another good superhero game, one that defied all odds, because it was not only a superhero game, but it was also a movie game, which was X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Well,
It had every right to be bad.
but it had the thing that worked. The reason that worked is because it had nothing to do with the movie.
Well, some things, but like the entire
Barely.
opening scene was from pretty much the movie. But I get what you're saying. A lot of it had nothing to do with the movie.
Because I remember playing that demo. I remember the day that demo dropped, and sitting around playing it. And we're like, "What the hell is this? This is amazing!"
Oh, you haven't played the whole game?
Oh, I played the whole game, but I'm just
Oh,
saying, like, I remember when we first got the demo. It was like, okay, we're gonna do
right.
this again, and then you played it, and you were like, "Holy crap!
Yeah,
Like, this
it's
is
straight rated
awesome!"
R.
Yeah. You were like, all right, well, okay, I just actually dismembered that guy. Okay, this is gonna be good. Just,
Yeah.
and it played out, and it was an above it definitely exceeded expectations.
Yeah, it was a third person action game. That's kind
Yeah,
of like it was like Wolverine God of War in a way, you know?
yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. We're bringing it back.
And then we got we did get an X-Men game not that long ago that nobody likes to talk about.
I don't like. Wasn't the one that you like make up it was like a new cast of people or something?
Kind of. Yeah, it was like you made your own mutant sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it basically it was their way of like, hey, we could do Infamous with mutants, basically. Which was just like saying, hey, we could reskin Infamous. Like that was all. And
Yeah.
except it was really bad. I mean, like it worked, but that was it. Like it was not inspired, it was not fun, but I mean, at least it wasn't broken.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is not, it's like, okay, that gets you a 5. Like that's
But yeah, real fast before we get off Star Wars, I just remembered Star Wars Celebration next year is going to be in Orlando. You gonna make it?
we'll see.
Oh, you gotta make it,
We'll see.
man.
Dude, it depends on any number of things. Are you still coming up here to Heroes Con next month? Because I know we had talked about that.
Yeah, shoot, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we put you on the spot live on the show. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, we'll have to see. The month's coming up real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
It's
this
a
was
big
your.
date.
I mean, I bought my damn ticket and everything, so you better get up here.
Damn it. Okay, I guess I'll have to buy my plane ticket. Is there an airport near you?
Yeah, Charlotte's not that far.
Okay, all right. Oh crap.
Well, I mean,
just came off the top. Yeah. It just surprised me with that.
See,
Yeah, I think I could do it.
yeah, that's what happens when you let me talk. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I can make that work.
there you go. See, there you go. You're all set. We'll see you. Any fans in the Charlotte area for Heroes Con, we'll see you there.
Oh man. Yeah, you just totally surprised me with that. But yeah, man, you got to do Celebration.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long ways out yet. I will make every effort to make it, just because that would be awesome. It would absolutely be awesome. And I'm bummed that I didn't do it when I was still down there.
Yeah.
But that was, the circumstances not permitting, so,
Right.
But
Right.
we'll see. Yeah, we will definitely. I will make every attempt to get there next year. When is it next year? June or excuse me, or July?
I think it's July.
Okay.
Let's do Celebration Orlando.
Because I know I
Um,
saw the thing with the dates on it, but I don't remember what they were.
yeah, it's July 15th through 17th, 2016.
That's this year.
Oh, hold on.
2017?
I
Or
hold
are you
on.
reading the one for England for this year?
I am reading the one for England.
Okay.
All right. They go on sale May 25th, and it is for April 13th through 16th, 2017.
Wow, so they've moved it up.
Mm-hmm.
And the tickets go on sale in like 2 weeks?
Yep, they go on sale in 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm not going to make that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get it. They're. I don't remember them like being like they're sold out. Can't get any ticket. I don't think it's like that.
Yeah, okay.
I
We'll see.
remember one year we bought tickets at the gate.
Really? That's surprising. Well, I don't know though. Demand now?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
Couple of difference a couple of years makes, man.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I've been to both of them. They were pretty fun.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep. What else we got here?
Well, actually, we got to take a break.
Oh, okay. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we'll get back. We'll talk more about video games. See you in a minute. Welcome, everybody, back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we're right in the middle of video game news. Let's get into it. We talked a lot about the Star Wars. Let's get what else do we got up the?
Legend of Zelda. We did have some news. One of the producers, Eiji excuse me, Aonuma. Sure, we'll try that. We'll put a nickel on that one. So it talked about how the game is going to break from some of the more traditional elements. That it was going to be a little more open world. It's not going to be an open world game, but it's going to have some more elements of an open world game.
That's good.
There was not a tremendous amount of detail about like, well, what do you mean? They were just like, hey, it's not going to be the same old, same old.
No, that's good. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
totally.
most of their games have been, rehash of the last of the last of the last game, and it's like, okay, we're gonna break that cycle.
Right. I'm totally for that. There's the kind of prevailing wisdom is like they want this to do for Zelda what Ocarina of Time did. Like they want to go
Right.
back to the whole like completely revitalize the series.
Yeah.
And if that's the goal you want to shoot for. Like I mean they don't get a lot loftier than that.
Yeah, totally. I think they could do it though. It's gonna get me interested. It's what I'm worried about, and I don't think I see it on here, but like, I saw that EA was asked, "Are you going to be doing Nintendo NX stuff?" And you know what they said?
What?
If it makes sense.
Ouch.
And I think that's like,
Ouch. Wow.
yeah, it's like Nintendo, you need to pay attention to this. Don't make some funky weird controllers that they can't put their games on a PlayStation and Xbox and look at you and go, "You're weird."
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's
That's not a
man.
good sign.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we want to. If I buy a Nintendo NX, I want to be able, that's the thing that you got to imagine, like a kid who gets a Nintendo NX, they're gonna want to play the new Star Wars games on it, and if you can't play the next new Star Wars games, come on,
Yeah.
it's got to be like the Super Nintendo where third parties were just dying to put their games on it.
Yeah.
It just be careful, be careful.
Yeah. Like yeah, man. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy. Yeah, what else we got here? We talked about Andromeda. Uh oh, there was I don't know, this came from some forum, and I don't think it was actually Reddit, but Scott Cawthon, who is the developer for the Five Nights at Freddy's games, was asked, when are we, have you considered bringing these to consoles anytime soon or anything? And he said, oh yeah, we're talking to people now. It's totally going to happen.
Okay. I
So
never was a fan of those games.
yeah, I don't know. they're a strange breed, but
Hmm.
hey.
Kids love them. Yeah, I remember one of my nephews or something was like, "You gotta check out this scary game." I was like, "Oh, cool, all right." He shows me this thing, and it's like, "You gotta open the door here, and then close the door there, and then oh my god," he showed. I was like, "Oh, that was scary." Like, I was like pretending it was scary. I'm like, "Oh, you really got me with that one." Whoa,
Right.
man. I was like, "Okay."
Oh
It's
boy.
we didn't talk about Andromeda though.
We did a little bit. Just
Did we?
yeah, yeah. It's coming out early next year, and they're gonna do. EA's doing more details at their own little press
Ah.
thing. Yeah,
Well, see, this is what comes with having a cold. You gotta take medicine and you get a little loopy.
that's all right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I know that was some big news, and a lot of Mass Effect people are pretty upset. And
Well,
push.
get over it.
Yep.
Like,
Rather a game be better than come out early and be bad.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. My, my favorite thing ever was um the ending to Mass Effect 3. How no matter which choice you made, it didn't exactly make a lot of difference.
Oh, okay.
Like they all kind of boiled down to they weren't the same choice, but the ending still like the wrap up of everything
Mm,
didn't really end on three completely different notes.
mm.
And somebody had an entire thing, and they were like three different colors. Like each path was three different colors. It was red, green, and blue, I think. I don't know. This has been a long time ago. But whatever it was, somebody had sent to BioWare this giant assortment of cupcakes with each of the three colors of icing, and they were vanilla, and that was the gag. And I
Oh,
thought
that's funny.
that's that's really way too subtle to be as funny as it should be. It's like I don't understand. They all taste exactly the same. That's the point.
That's great.
That's been like one of my favorite fan. It's like this guy just got so mad that he wasn't gonna go on Twitter and start like vowing to burn the company down. He's like, no, I'm gonna make just this ridiculous statement. It's like the people who pay parking tickets in pennies. It's
Right.
like, I love stuff like that. Just like okay, I will follow. I will do this thing in a way that is not obnoxious and awful and terrible, but you're still gonna hate it.
Wait, what do you mean by paying parking tickets and pennies?
Everyone,
Oh,
yeah,
you know what? Okay.
yeah.
I thought you meant J.C. Penney's. That's a chain of yeah. I
Oh,
was like, what are you talking about?
okay, what exactly are you taking?
That's just over the counter cough syrup.
I
Just makes me tired.
that's why they card you for that stuff nowadays.
No, it's not carded. I don't think so. It's Mucinex. I don't know. It's not bad.
Well,
Just
that's
makes me
not
kind of tired and yeah.
what.
I'm like, what do you mean paying parking tickets? I'm thinking someone going to a J.C. Penney's to just bother them and be like, I have to pay this parking ticket. And they're like, you need to go to men's. Like, I don't know. Sorry,
That's
didn't mean to
that's
derail the show.
that's over there next to the accessories.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Man,
wait
they
a
get
minute.
some good deal at J.C. Penney's. I'm telling you, man.
Oh wait a
I
minute. Your car got towed. Oh, you have to pay that at the jewelry counter. I'm sorry, we can't help you.
Exactly. I forgot what. Oh, I went and bought a suit there real fast. A
Uh,
few months ago, and you know how uh, they what is it called? Who are the people that uh, make it smaller for you? They what is it called?
I
The
don't.
profession where they hem it for you.
A seamstress, I suppose.
Seamstress. Yes, that's the word. Okay. So I went to real fast. I went to J.C. Penney's. I bought a suit, and I was like, "Do you guys have a seamstress?" Like they used to do that. There's a door to the right of us that says seamstress on it. It says the word on it, and they go, well, "We don't do that anymore." And I looked at the door, and I go, "You have a door that's specifically for that." And you don't do it. And she goes, I honestly don't know why it says that on the door.
Wow.
It was the funniest moment at JCPenney's. I even got her, she started laughing, and I'm like, really? She's like, it must be just from the past, and we left it there. And it turns out they don't do it anymore, but they just left the sign on the door, right next to where the suits are. I thought it was so funny.
Okay.
She's like, we just put stuff in there, like chairs and stuff. I was like, okay. Sorry.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's like you used to be able to go to Sears and play video games.
Oh, that's very true.
That was
Not
a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's funny. We're talking about Ocarina of Time was the last one I remember that they had a display for.
Yeah, I remember playing. What was the one after Ocarina? Majora's Mask. I remember
yes.
playing that in the store.
Yeah, 64. Yeah.
Yeah, they still have things at Walmart, I think, for like PlayStation and Xbox.
They still have some of those.
Yeah, I don't know what they have in it, but
I've never looked.
Yep.
I haven't because I don't buy games at Walmart.
Yeah, me either. All digital, all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So news. Back to why we do this crazy little thing.
Yeah.
I love conversations because sometimes they go to the most bizarre places.
You know what? I need to correct what I was saying. It said alterations on the door, and that's what I was like, what is that room for then? Like that room says alterations, and she's like, nope, we don't do that anymore. So go ahead. Sorry.
Oh boy. No wonder they're losing money.
Yeah, I had to go somewhere else to get it done. But it came out nice. Went to the wedding and everything. But I was like, imagine being at a place like that served hamburgers, and you see a hamburger, and you're like, why can't I buy that? You're selling it.
Right.
Oh, we don't sell it anymore. Sorry, go ahead.
It's on the menu. You have a picture of it right here.
That's what I felt like. I felt like it was a movie, and we all looked to the right and saw the door at the same time. I'm like, look at the door. It says alterations, and she's like, oh, we just put chairs in there now. That's not a real thing anymore. I was like, what the hell? Oh, right.
Tell me that's not something out of a Kevin Smith film.
It felt like a movie. We all looked over to the right when I pointed at it. Everyone in line behind me everyone looked over to the right, and you could tell they were all laughing. They're like, wow, see, this kid's right. There's a door that says alterations.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, so anyway, back to news.
So Skydance Media has bought... They went the opposite route of Disney. They bought a video game studio. It's called The Workshop Entertainment, which I've never heard of. And they incorporated them into their company, and they launched their own... They used that as a platform to launch their own game studio called Skydance Interactive.
Okay.
I have no idea what this means going forward. I have no idea what kind of games they're going to be making.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
Skydance has a game studio.
We got
cool.
We got some Witcher news. Did you see the DLC?
I didn't look at the details. Tell me about it.
Get this. I don't even know how much it costs. Look that up real fast. How much it's called Blood and Wine.
Okay.
The Witcher 3 DLC has over 90 quests, over 30 plus hours of gameplay.
Wow.
14,000 new lines of dialogue. 100 pieces of like armor, all these different places to go to, new game plus mode, maximum level increased to 100, and you get to have your own vineyard. You get to literally make and manage your entire new vineyard, and it has this whole like game thing included in it with basically you're managing a vineyard. And a ton of other stuff. Like, I literally just took out the biggest points from, like, a list of, like, 50 things. I was like, these are the coolest ones. That's how you do DLC.
Right.
30 plus hours. I imagine the DLC's got to be, what, 15, 20 bucks?
$20.
$20. Holy shit. That's an entire game's worth of content that is a must. If you're a huge Witcher fan. If you were like, hey, I haven't put enough time into this game, which no one has said about The Witcher.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you have all of that DLC. There's been 2 DLCs prior, and they've been really good. I believe 1 or 2.
I think just one. I think just Heart of Stone.
Yeah, and I say pretty good. I haven't played it, but all the reviews and stuff were like, this is a lot of meaty content. Um, but yeah, I mean, that much content it's a whole new game. Some studios don't even come up with a game that big, uh, just for a regular release for $60. So,
Right?
and real fast before we come back, I want to talk a little bit about. Did you see the Pokemon Sun and Moon reveal?
I saw pieces of it. I didn't sit and watch the whole thing. Tell me about it.
Now, are you still interested in Pokemon? Are you going to get Sun and Moon?
I'm thinking about it. I'm
Are you
definitely
thinking about
thinking
it a
about it.
little bit beyond the Pokemon series?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, no, I'm totally gonna get it because I'm a sucker for Pokemon. I saw that they had like three starters. One of them was
What?
a fire.
I'm shocked.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't change. One of them was a grass flying, which looked like an owl or something.
Okay.
Yeah, Quill Pokemon it was called. A cat fire called Litten.
Okay.
Litte.
Uh,
It's lit, you know. Um, and Popolo or something, the sea lion Pokemon, which was water. I don't know. I thought they all looked weird except for the cat. He looked cool. Totally down for new Pokemon. It's set in Hawaii.
yeah, I did see that where it's like very tropical.
Did you see that the Rock got like a guest part in the game?
No, you're kidding.
I am totally kidding. I totally wish he did though. But it's all set on Hawaii. So it looks fun. It looks different. Even though it looks exactly the same like Pokemon, but
Right.
it's very Hawaiian. Like everything in the game looks Hawaiian. And the Japanese commercial kind of was touching. It was about a kid who looked very much Japanese that moved to Hawaii, and he didn't get along. He didn't know anything. Like he felt alone in school or whatever. And like in the trailer, you see him like. His mom takes him to a store and it's like the new game's on sale, and he goes up and grabs and he's playing it, and she takes him to the park and he doesn't want to get out of the car, and she's like outside at the park, and he sees that his friends from school, the kids that he not his friends but kids he knows, are out at the park and they're all playing Pokemon, and so he grabs his DS, runs out, and he starts talking to them and becomes friends, and I was like, that's a really cool trailer. I
There you
really
go.
like that. It was touching, but yeah, I don't know. I love Pokemon and I can't wait for it.
There you go.
Yeah, but
Salt.
we're gonna yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. And when we get back, we're gonna talk reviews. We're definitely gonna have to push the Bloodlines book because I'm sick and I haven't been able to read. We're gonna push that to next week, and I'll pick a book to talk about as well. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And if you didn't hear me before the break, we're going to speak about Bloodlines next week. We also have a new book that we're going to talk about next week, and it's a short book too. It is called Red Shirts by who is it by again?
John Scalzi.
John Scalzi. Okay, now I don't know much about him. You do though. I know you've heard about it from Will Wheaton, right?
Right. I'm familiar with the name.
Guess who narrates the audiobook?
Let me guess. Will Wheaton.
Yes.
That does not surprise me.
Yep, absolutely. So he's narrating it. I might pick that up because I do enjoy his narrations. I heard it from like Total Biscuit, and he said it was really funny. I don't even know much about it. I just know it has to do with red shirts and it's supposed to be funny. So I'm sure it'll be a gas. But we'll talk all about those two books next week. So we're gonna have a Star Wars and a Star Trek book in the same week. How great is that gonna be?
We're gonna freak nerds out.
Yes, I just gotta get better, but
Yeah.
I need to catch up. So
I wanted to real quick before we get into anything else. I wanted to update on the TAC Kickstarter. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago. This is the for anybody not familiar, in the King Killer Chronicle, they have a game called TAC, which is like our versions of like Go or chess. It's one of those like ancient kind of games.
mm-hmm.
The Kickstarter started earlier this month. It runs would have been a couple weeks ago, or middle of last month. It runs for 9 more days, and they've got all kinds of sets. Like there's a list of 5x5, cloth, wood, like all the different tiers have different sets and everything. It's awesome. You got to check it out. They've got 9 days left, and their goal is 50,000. And then they can start production and get everything rolling out. They're up to 640,000 right now. So they don't need money, but you really need to go check it out and support it because it's awesome. And
Oh,
that's
well.
it's like that just looks cool. I watched the guys from Cheap Ass Games are the ones that are actually making the game and everything, and it looks like it really does look super cool. If you haven't seen, James Ernest does a like how to play video on the Kickstarter page and everything. Definitely check it out because it's one of those things that's like, wow, this looks really simple, and that's why it gets so complicated.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. How many more days? 9?
9, yeah. It'll
Okay.
be well, actually, by the time you're hearing this, it'll be 8, I think. So it'll
Okay.
be it's either the 18th or 19th. I think it's the 19th that it's
Gotcha.
up. And like the basic pack of like, hey, here's a 5x5 board and everything. I think is like is it $40? I think.
Uh, y- yeah, it says Trooper 40.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
yeah the trooper one? What's the bar the tavern set? That's what I was looking for. It's
Tavern
60
is the
65.
Innkeeper 65.
I think Innkeeper's the one I was looking for. Yeah, that's and because that's like a whole set. Like the Trooper set is kind of neat, but it's really just the pieces and I think
Hmm.
uh, a cloth kind of like, hey, this is the pattern of a playing area.
Right.
But for an actual like solid set, I think was the first level for that was the Innkeeper set.
Right. The Innkeeper is 65. Then the Tinker's is 90. And that's the book, the Tavern set, the Classic set, and the coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
It really is, but it's like you see like some of the videos and the updates that they have, and this is just it's gonna be beautiful. I
Hmm.
mean, it genuinely is. So like not not just to throw this out there because it's something from the Name of the Wind, but because it really does look awesome.
Yeah,
It really does look really cool.
it does. Absolutely. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got on the docket? So we got some reviews to talk about.
Sure.
All right. What do you want to talk about first? I mean, we can briefly talk about Civil War. We both liked it, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, Spider-Man killed it. Black Panther. A lot of the characters we haven't seen yet. Even like Ant-Man that we didn't see much of. You know, he got his movie and whatnot, but like the whole movie was fantastic. We'll talk more in depth about it. Do you want to do that this weekend?
Yeah, we'll do
I
that. We'll
should
definitely do that this weekend.
I should be feeling much better. So listen for that around Saturday or Sunday or sometime this weekend. We'll figure it out. We'll get to you. We'll let you know. We'll put it on the social media. But should hear that this weekend. I can't wait to talk about it more in depth. Basically, go see it. It's good. It's probably my favorite Marvel film at this point. Um, I always say that early on to the films, like, but it has to be my favorite Marvel film. Guardians was probably my favorite until now.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
yeah, but it is so good, and I don't want to sit there and say the similarities between Batman and Superman because they are pretty obvious.
We'll talk about that. Oh, I've got a whole. I'm gonna write a thesis on that.
Exactly, and I think that it was a way for them. That's how you do it.
Yes.
That's how you do it, where everything makes sense. All the pieces fall. The pieces make sense, and it is a love letter to Marvel fans.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Yeah, and so that's all we'll say. We'll get into much more detail later on, and we'll gush over it then. And there's some things that might not have worked, but I say that so lightly because it's little quibbles where I'm like, well, I wish they would, but it's so stupid and little. You have to pick something, right?
Right.
But 99.9% of it, I absolutely adored.
Yeah.
Um, uh, let's talk about let's do Flash real fast.
Yeah, man, talking about Kevin Smith, he's been on record saying that directing this episode and seeing how all of this kind of worked and everything has helped make him a better director.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see how this transfers into his stuff going forward. But for the episode, I mean that yeah, like if you're gonna set up the last 2 episodes of a season, that's a way to do it.
That is the way to do it. My favorite part, and it made me think of him because the way he always says in the podcast, "Run, Barry, run," and then he cries. And I just imagined when she says that, I imagine him behind the camera going, "I can't fucking do this."
Just bawling. He had to have bawled for so much of this.
Yeah, because it's a cornerstone of Flash in the series. Is his
Yeah.
mom's telling him, "Run, Barry, run," and she does it again. And I thought it was cool. It was weird, and at first I was like, "Oh wow, this is at the beginning of the episode." I was like, "This is gonna be where some fans might check out."
Right.
Where they're like, "This is getting weird," but it's like Lost, where it's like, if you're with us at this point, you're with us.
Well,
and this is how the comic books get. This is exactly how the comic books get.
Right, but I loved how like he straight up addressed it instead of just like you're talking to the Speed Force. He wasn't like, okay. He was like, no, wait a minute. That's like having a conversation with gravity or light. What? That doesn't make any sense. And they were like, trust us, just go with it. And he was like, okay.
And that's how the comic is. The whole Speed Force and death and all that stuff involved with it.
Yeah.
The thing that's constantly chasing him. I thought that's what it was going to be, kept running. But all of that is very, very much Flash comic stuff. So it all falls in line with it. And that's not there all the time. We're going to see that maybe once a season in an episode where it gets really into the weird stuff. But I thought it was perfect.
And God bless Cisco. I love Cisco more and more every episode. Barry, oh my God, thank you. I can't believe you're back. I'm so glad you're here. We're about to die.
Yes. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, "Is that a zombie? Shut up," or whatever he said. Yeah, it was fantastic. He steals the show.
He does. He really does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The bad guy I thought was a little weak, but they needed a weak bad guy, I think, for this episode.
That was exactly like they needed something they could just kind of throw in there, like, hey, this would create a thing. Like, sure, why not?
Get him running around for an episode until the Flash came. It just goes to show they need extra heroes on the show, just like Arrow now. Now when the Arrow is down and out, at least it's like, okay, we got Diggle. We have all these other characters that can hold their own. You had the Atom at one point in time. Like, at least in this one, now we're going to have some speedsters where it's going to be a team, and it's going to be, if one's down, the whole world isn't going to, come to an end.
Right.
And I can't wait to see what's going to happen moving forward. We don't have much time. We should have talked about Game of Thrones. I loved it. What did you think?
Yes, excellent. And I love the end of that episode was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing of like, my watch has ended, and you're like, yeah, do we have a precedent here, guys? Like, what happens if like he's died and his watch is over, and so he's filled his oath, and then he comes back? Like, do we have minutes on this? What happens?
Yeah, I did not see that coming. I never thought when he'd come back he'd be like, okay, I'm done now. It's like, wow, Jon Snow's been in this place for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna see him venture off into the world.
Now
I can't.
He's gonna take back the North. Now he's gonna be a Stark.
Yes. Oh my God. Was it Ramsay? I hope that. Oh my God. I hate him. He is the most disgusting. I didn't think it was possible to top Joffrey.
Yeah, but I mean, he just and that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job, and he nails it. He really does.
Yep, he really does. Well, we gotta go. We'll see you guys this weekend when we talk about Civil War, and we'll see you guys next week, of course, at 9 p.m. Eastern time on the N.FM. You can find our Facebook group, We Geek Podcast. There's 2 of them. Twitter is at We Geek Podcast, at The Logan Witt, and at Adam Estep. Our Gmail is wegeekpodcast@gmail.com, and we will see you guys all next week. Captain?
Captain.